The Hendersons were known for their big Thanksgiving dinners. Every year, their old house was full of food, laughter, and friends. This year, though, things felt strange. A heavy snowstorm had knocked out the power, leaving their house dark and quiet. Still, the Hendersons invited everyone. Neighbors arrived wrapped in thick coats, stepping into the dim house lit only by candles. Shadows flickered on the walls, making the house look spooky. Mrs. Henderson greeted everyone with a smile, but her eyes looked off. The table was huge, filled with food, turkey, pies, stuffing. But something wasn't right. There were too many chairs, all mismatched, like they had grabbed them last minute. Even stranger, each guest noticed an empty seat right beside them. Mr. Henderson stood at the head of the table. "This year has been hard," he said quietly. "But Thanksgiving is about family, both those here with us, and those who aren't." The guests gave nervous glances. What did he mean by that? Mrs. Henderson raised her glass. "To loved ones, living and gone." Everyone joined in, though some hesitated. As they drank, the room suddenly grew colder. The candles flickered wildly, and the shadows on the walls seemed to move on their own. Then, one of the empty chairs creaked, like someone was sitting down. But no one was there. A deep whisper filled the room. It wasn't just one voice. It sounded like many, all speaking at once. The guests froze in fear. Slowly, the other chairs creaked too, as if invisible people were taking their seats. "Eat," Mrs. Henderson said, her voice shaking. "They're hungry." The guests didn't know what to do, but the air felt heavy, like something was watching them. So, they picked up their forks and ate. The food, which had smelled so good before, now tasted strange, bitter and cold. The whispers grew louder, and shadows on the walls formed faces. They weren't faces anyone recognized, but they were watching. When the plates were empty, everything stopped. The whispers went silent, the shadows faded, and the room felt normal again. The guests didn't say goodbye. They just grabbed their coats and ran out into the night. As they left, Mrs. Henderson called after them with a smile. "See you next Thanksgiving." Nobody answered, but every year after that, when the Hendersons invited people to dinner, nobody dared to say no.
If you like this video, subscribe our channel.